question.
How does Pablo Picasso's journeys into different artistic styles, life phases, and loves demonstrate artistic rebellion and deliver new truths? So I think that through Picasso, like not having a traditional life, like having multiple girlfriends and drawing people in whorehouses and stuff, like he didn't live a traditional life in a sense, and that reflects a lot in his paintings. Like he paints each mistress in a certain way, and like he's like discovering himself as he's with like each person, and he delivers like new truths, like by line in a sense. So in the article, he says that art is a lie that makes us realize truth, or at least the truth that is given to us to understand. So the artist has to like almost lie and persuade those who are interpreting their art to believe what's true when it's not actually true. Second pitch in. Something that I really like about Picasso is like how you said that he painted these people in whorehouses, but the typical paintings of like of women, especially in the nude, they just curvy, like kind of like angelic. But then he portrays, especially in I guess his painting with the Les Demoiselles d'Avion. I think I probably butchered that, but he talks. Basically, the painting is all like distorted and talks about the truth of like whorehouses. That's not the ideal life. That's not what anyone wants. No one wants to just put their body out there for money to live on day-to-day basis. And then, but things like are just kind of glorified. But I think what I love about Picasso is that he states the truth. And especially in the painting of Gertrude, he didn't paint her for the beauty. And then you know how you had to paint one. He painted, I think it was Francoise, like it was the one that he never painted before. When he did, it came out looking like a flower pot. Like, I mean, he doesn't paint for beauty. He paints by like personalities and like and their traits. Like with Gertrude, I mean, it didn't. He could have emphasized some features and made things look better, like especially for anyone. But, except he painted how he saw her in like different, and I guess in the one where it's like one of his wives, but it was like different versions of her, like multiple faces, or, like your different personalities and traits.
That was Dora Maar.
Huh?
That was Dora Maar.
Okay. Well,
The photographer. Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was Dora. I thought you were talking about a different art painter, and I was like, oh man, I feel bad now. Okay. So, anyone else want to take
I'll do it. Sorry. Going back to the question about artistic styles and lovers that he's had, I said that his lovers and his paintings are both like the same thing, meaning that he can't settle with one type of style, just like how he had multiple mistresses, wives. Like, I don't think, did he ever settle with anybody? No, because he wanted to look for something new. You know, even in his 90s,
He found a new girl.
He found a new girl, exactly. Like, he never settled with one person, just like his art styles. He never settled with one type of art style, because truth isn't always going to be the same. It's not always going to look the same. All truth can be ugly, beautiful, whatever you want it to be. So, yeah, his lovers all had different things. Like, Dora was a photographer, and the youngest one, the one that's still alive today.
Francois Gillot.
Yeah, I don't think she did anything except for take care of her grandmother, right? Yeah, so like, they're all different, but yet he loved each of them equally, just like how he loves his own art styles. That's what I guess.
I wrote about how Picasso changed the way you looked, because the way you dress says a lot about you. And Picasso got to a stage in life where he's just wearing stripes every day, all the time. And I did a little research on that, and stripes used to signify like social disobedience and like sinful. It used to be seen as sinful, and so sinful that one time the Pope ordered all clergymen not to wear stripes at all. It was banned at some point in time.
Oh,
And stripes are like used in like films too, like to signify like evil or some sin. Like for example, like the Wizard of Oz, a wicked witch wears like a striped stockings.
That makes sense.
wow, I learned something.
And like pops out at the human eye because it confuses the brain because you can't tell how far away the depth of perception in stripes is. You can tell implied because it's organized, and plain because it's like just one solid plane. But I think Picasso did some research about that and then decided that he's a rebel and he's not gonna, well, he's different and he's not gonna let rules set him back. So he started wearing stripes to tell everyone how he is as a person without even talking to them.
Very good.
All right, now going back to what Picasso said about you have to, the artist lies and has to make it a good lie. I don't know if I agree with that really, because, well, for me, like what art is, because art is like you're taking like a snapshot of how you feel now and then how you feel later while you're painting. So it's like more real than real. Like if you don't get the same feeling of looking at a photograph that you do when you look at a painting.
More real than real. Hmm?
Yeah, so like, kind of like how numbers are like you don't question like how like numbers are true, how they're real. So but like for a painting, what it does, it takes all this truth that's there and it lays it out in a way that you can understand just by looking at it. You don't even have to articulate anything. You just by looking at it, you'll understand the truth.
Wow, very good.
Alright, so going from that, I understand what Isaac is trying to say by saying that paintings are more real than the real thing. But I disagree on the part that I still believe that if the painting is showing something more real, that would mean that the painting itself is a lie from what it's truly there. Because if he's capturing an image, let's say from the world and just nature, and he makes it more real, more beautiful than what it is, that's just a lie that will show the truth behind it. So paintings, as Picasso said on the statement, paintings are ways that the paintings are as good as the painter can make the lie to convince the person that's seeing it of it. So a painting is a way of making an argument and making a statement in which you need to convince your audience of it with a lie of the truth.
Awesome. That's great.